Example 3. In 2016, the U.S. women's soccer team played at least 20 games. Here are their scores, which I have already preloaded into a list in the calculator. Find the mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation of the team scores. Those two games, and then part B, those two games where the team scored 9 and 10 goals might be outliers. We need to use the mean and the standard deviation to determine whether the typical range for the team scores, and then identify any outliers. So that's actually sort of a two-parter. So example 3, part A. We were asked to find a few things. We were asked to find the mean, the median, the mode, the standard deviation, and the range. So again, we'll run some one-variable stats here, StatCalc1. So our mean number of points was 3.15. Our standard deviation was 2.581. Again, the standard deviation is right there. Scrolling down, the median was 2. The range was 10 minus 1. Range was 9, median was 2. And to find the mode, let's sort that list. Stat sort L1. So that stat edit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games they scored ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just 5. So it looks like the mode, the most common score was 1. But 1-0 is still a win. In fact, it's one of the hardest fought wins. That's part A. Part B. So what's the typical range of points for them? And then identify any outliers. So the typical number of points, most likely to happen in a game, again, is our mean plus or minus the standard deviation. Okay, so our mean again was 3.15 plus 2.581 is 5.731. And right now, even though you can't score a fraction of a point in soccer or football, we're going to keep this as, in the long run, on a very, very great number of games, this is kind of what the numbers will average out to be, or between 0.569. So in practical terms, they actually score kind of between 1 and 6 points most games, if we round up. So the typical range of points, or the typical number of points, varies between 0.569 and 5.731, but if we want to explain in real world terms, or about 1 to 6 points. Now to find outliers, you can either have high outliers or low outliers. We're not really going to look at the low outliers very much right now, but that's going to be your mean minus 3 of your standard deviation, or anything that is above your mean plus 3 of your standard deviations. So anything for us that is bigger than, not equal to, just bigger than 3.15 plus 3 of those 2.581s is going to be an outlier. So, again, calculator, 3.15 plus 3 of those 2.581s. Anything above 10.893 will be an outlier. 9 and 10 are not above that number, so that means that 9 and 10 points are not outliers. They are still within 3 standard deviations of the mean, which means that those games are just the best that we could ever expect from that particular team on some of their best days. And that's example 3.